Hey, what's up guys? This is Snake Vape, and I'm coming to you with my first PS Vita review for Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. I'm going to try my best to hold my hand steady here to kind of get the video footage, but let's go ahead right into it. I'm going to start off with just a review. Now, the story here is basically one, of course, that you're not supposed to be surprised about an assassin, but this one was a slave who had lost her mother and then was adopted later on by a very rich husband and wife, and was brought into this family and had a very high-class status most of her life. But during this time she was growing up, she was also training to become an assassin and has also been doing assassination missions. So she's been kind of living a double life of sorts. And the story basically has you trying to basically fight the corruption of the government. The Templars, of course, are involved in some way, and also has you trying to find out the mysteries, the secrets of what happened to your mom. I'm not trying to give away too much. I don't like to reveal too much spoilers on the story, but I want to go over a couple of things here with the game. So, the game has a unique mechanic to it from the other Assassin's Creed games in that you have a persona mechanic. Now, the way this persona mechanic works is it allows you to do certain things, allows you to blend in. Each persona you use has a special, unique trait to it. So this right here, this is a slave persona. It allows me to blend in with other slaves, has a low notoriety, and allows me to also parkour run, but the downfall is that I won't have access to all my weapons in this outfit. The second one, of course, is the Assassin's persona, which of course gives you the free run access to jump anywhere, do anything, just like the slave persona, but it allows you also access to every weapon that you've purchased or obtained. And I probably died. Sure did. Sure died. I missed that. Downside with this persona is that, of course, dressed as an assassin, you can only be so inconspicuous. So you're always having a minimum notoriety level with the assassin's persona. And then finally, there's the lady persona. This one is the one that allows you to blend in very well with your environment, allows you to bribe officials and guards, and also charm them into leaving their posts or allowing you to enter a restricted area without bringing too much attention to yourself. The downside of this one is that it doesn't allow you to parkour while you're wearing while you have the lady persona enabled. So, because you're wearing a dress, basically, you're wearing a very high class, high fancy dress. You're very ladylike. You look very, very much the part of a lady. I guess more so than the other ones. And so, because you're wearing this dress, it doesn't allow you access to most of your weapons, and it doesn't allow you to run very, very fast or jump anything at all. So I'm going to try to figure out where I have to go there, but I don't think there's anywhere for me to go down here. Anyways, so that's the unique mechanic. This mechanic had a lot of promise. It sounds like a very interesting mechanic. Unfortunately, the game doesn't implement it very well. And what I mean by that is that the game only allows you access to certain personas during certain points in the story. So you're very restricted to what you're able to wear and how you're able to really accomplish or the objective of a mission. So sometimes it'll force you into the lady persona, other times it'll force you into the slave persona. Like this one, for example. This mission I'm on forces me into the slave persona, so I don't have access to the lady or the assassin persona. I have to do what I got to do with the slave persona. That's not really a bad thing. It doesn't really affect the game that much, but the fact that it promises you freedom with the way you're dressed and the abilities you have, it kind of squanders that freedom in kind of more of a fashion to kind of keep the story going in a specific way. Aha, Indiana Jones style. So that mechanic is just not well implemented. Another thing about this is the graphics. Now the graphics are decent. They're all right. I don't know if you can really tell from this video, I don't have a game capture card for anything yet, so this is as good as it's going to get for the the portable systems at least. So the graphics are alright. They're not Killzone mercenary quality by any means, but they're not the worst looking graphics either. They're serviceable. I really only talk about graphics if they're noticeable in a good or bad way, and this game is just not either. It's not noticeable good or bad. There's nothing awe-inspiring about the graphics, and there's nothing really disgusting about the graphics either. It's you can look at this game for long periods of time and not have a problem. Let me put it that way. So graphics are average, decent. People might argue about that, but for me, I say it's serviceable. It does the job it was meant to do. Now the sound department is a mixed bag. See, the musical score and the overall music in the game is really good. I like it. It's a very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque feel to it. The way that the Pirates of the Caribbean's main theme sounds, it kind of implements those instruments in a very orchestral way, using low violin sounds, pretty much similar to that sound. So I think it's more accurate to the time period you're in. Now the time period you're in is basically during the French Revolution, and the game takes place in New Orleans, but it also takes place in swamplands, takes place in Aztec villas. So it takes place in a lot of diverse environments. Granted, the only main one that you'll be in is the city of New Orleans for its time period, which I think is around the 1400s. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. But, yeah, so the music just seems fitting for a time like this. The sound is good with the music, but unfortunately the voice acting comes off a little cheesy, if not just disgusting. What I mean by that is some of the characters' accents just seem so fake, but they try so hard to sound a certain way, and it just comes off as so fake. Some characters sound like that. There have been a fair share number of characters I've heard the accents, and I'm just like, this is not their natural accent. You can tell right off the bat they're just trying really hard to sound a certain way, and it comes off as cheap. But characters like the main character, Aveline, which is the assassin you play as, she sounds decent. She's not the best either, but when you compare to the other games, or when you compare to the other characters, she's the best sounding. But that's kind of like saying this shit smells not as bad as that shit. It's still shit. I say that because her accent sounds natural, it sounds authentic, but the problem is she has no enthusiasm, no emotion in any of the lines she delivers. She basically sounds like a Peter Dinklage kind of vocal. Ooh. Let's see here. Tilt the PlayStation system, control the PlayStation platform, roll the sphere. Okay, well, I'll just get into controls then. This is one of the controls. I use the gyroscope. Now the controls for this game, if you played an Assassin's Creed game before, then this will feel... Sorry, I have to kind of tilt it to the side. This will feel right at home in terms of movement and combat. But there are certain games, like... There's certain kind of... Wow, it's going to be hard to capture this on film. There's certain things like this, for example, that use the gyroscope or use the touchscreen, and some of them work, but then there are others that don't work. This one, for example, as you can see, I'm having a real tough time trying to get it to where I need it to go. Maybe I should have waited to take care of this first before I decided to film this. I didn't even know this was coming up. For instance, there's one where it's you tear open a letter holding both the rear and front touchscreen and sliding it across the screen, and that tears open the letter. Then there are other mechanics like this that don't really work very well. They're not fun to do in any way, and they're just frustrating. I'm not frustrated about this yet, but I can see where the frustration will go by playing this part. It's really screwing up the video because I have to turn it all sorts of ways to get it to where I want it to go, and it's just not doing it. I'm trying to do it as fast as possible so I can stop tilting the damn Vita and capture the game, the way I originally planned to capture it. So there's major delay in the ball right here. So some things like this, they don't really work too well. I almost got it in there. Booyah, got it in there. Okay, good. Sorry about that. So there's one more kind of gimmick, I would say, in the PS Vita's Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation, and that would be that there's when you open certain letters, there's a piece of paper in there that requires you to hold a very bright light up to the rear camera of the Vita and allow that bright light to seep through the letter. Now, the problem with this is the rear camera automatically adjusts the brightness wherever it's exposed. So once you put a bright light to the rear camera, that bright light's no longer bright because the rear camera has already adjusted itself. So as you can see there, you can see the problem people will have with this section here in terms of trying to get it to work properly. Now, the cinematics are okay. The frame rate kind of stutters a lot in places. And the character models, they look alright, but back to the controls. Like I said, some of the touch screen things work, but when it tries to use gyroscope or any other kind of gimmick, it falls flat, and it's very frustrating to get them to work because sometimes you have to go through these. It's not optional stuff. You have to go through these. So anyways, I'm a slave. I've got little to no weapons here. I'm gonna have to fight my way through here. The combat is very much Assassin's Creed. People might be used to the Batman Arkham games, which I can see the similarities between the two. But Assassin's Creed, I think, did it first. So, in terms of controls, as long as I'm not using any of the PS Vita's special, unique mechanics or special, unique features, they work fine. When you're sticking to just movement and using the face buttons and the analog sticks, and I just got my ass whipped there. They work just fine. The animations are fluent, but they're not very fluent. You'll see some stuttering in a couple of frames. Frame rate in the game is not very steady at all, but it's not game breaking by any means. It's just you'll notice it. You'll notice it right away. And so I'm trying to fight here, but without any weapons, I'm at a big disadvantage here. I've only got one weapon, and that's the trademark knives on the arms weapon that Assassin's Creed has now made very famous. So I'm gonna have to kick some ass here before they kick my ass. As you can see, my health bar is just going down real fast, and I'm dead. A strike 2 for me. Can I get it done in strike 3? Is it 3 strikes you're out, or is it third time's a charm? Yeah, so the controls are very Assassin's Creed. I like the controls, just don't like the gimmicky controls for the mini games that they have here. And the playability, it's not a broken game, but I am going to talk about this though. The game has its fair share of glitches, and they're very noticeable glitches. There have been times where I've defeated enemies, and instead of falling to the ground and being in the dead position like they should be, they've stayed frozen in place of their attack position. They stay just frozen there. They're not alive. They're not alive at all. But they're just frozen in there. You can go right through them, and you can't loot their bodies. I mean, it's very bad. And it happened a fair share of times. And he just fell out. Oh no, he didn't fall down. Damn. What else can I say about this? Buildings will half materialize and half disappear. So there'll be parts of buildings that clearly are supposed to be there, but you can see right through them. You can go right through them. You can even fall through the world map, and it doesn't break the game, but it breaks the immersion. That's the biggest thing this game does, is it breaks the immersion. And I'm on a timer right now, So I have to kind of run. Hopefully I don't get confused about where to go. Hopefully it's pretty linear like the rest of the structure is. So you'll have combat. Combat is fun, but it's not the main draw of the game. Mostly it's following people, staying out of sight. Oh. What? And there are some things that just don't make any sense. Like, for instance, this is clearly a set of stairs. Why I can't climb the set of stairs, I don't know. There's just some oddities in the game that I feel are just really immersive breaking. You know, clearly it's a set of stairs. I should have no problem climbing up. And I somehow do. Look at this. This is incredible. I cannot climb up a set of stairs without sliding. And I don't know what I just did there. Wow. Okay. Now, okay, it sounds like I'm frustrated, and to an extent, I kind of am. As you can see here. Sometimes it just doesn't control the way you want it to. But in terms of the button laid out and the animations, it's very much Assassin's Creed. It's just some oddities like this where I can slide down a set of stairs. This is ridiculous. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I spent a lot of time slipping and sliding. And I'm on a timer here. I only got 20 seconds left. And I'm almost about to die. Oh, no. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I spent way too much time. Backtrack. Yeah, see? Oh, no, I made it. No, I didn't. Okay, now I made it. Okay. Did I make it? No, I didn't make it. I didn't make it. I gotta do that again, but this time I know what to expect. There's not a lot of trial and error in this game, even though there is one in this one because the game was not controlling as well as I hoped for it to. But that's alright. So, I don't do reviews with numerical scores. Personally, for me, I feel that the numerical scores are kind of misleading. They're kind of generic. They don't really tell you the good and the bad about the game. They just kind of tell it to you in a number, and then, you know, that number could be, like I said, it's very vague of a description for a review, in my opinion. It's okay if people do it. I'm not against it. I just don't like to do it. So, basically, I'm just going to summarize this review by saying this game is a definite buy. Now, why would I say that after all the bad things I've said about this game? Well, because after everything is said and done, this game is good. I mean, it has bad, just like every other game does, but this game is worth going through the bad to get to the good, because the good is very good. You know, it's Assassin's Creed on a portable device. I mean, how much better can it get? And it's got its own unique story. It's the only Assassin's Creed that I know of that has a female protagonist. So that right there is worth the price of admission there. And apart from all the glitches, apart from the very bad voice acting, everybody's going to find something they're going to love about this game. You're not going to love everything about it, but you're going to find something you will. I personally don't regret buying it. And there's nothing like it on the Vita. It's an open world game, it's an Assassin's Creed game. It's the best immersion of Assassin's Creed on a portable device I've ever seen. And there have been previous attempts at Assassin's Creed on portable devices that failed miserably. Anybody remember Bloodlines? So this is a definite must buy, especially at the price right now. I mean, I think you can only get it used, or pre-owned. I don't think they make it new anymore. But for the price for pre-owned, it's pretty good. You're going to get your money's worth. Was it worth 50 or 60 bucks? No. But is it worth 20? Yeah. Worth 20. So if you're a big Assassin's Creed fan, you're going to love this game. You're not going to like all the glitches and stuff, but you're going to love this game. If you're not a big Assassin's Creed fan, then pass on this one. This is the same thing that you already come to know about Assassin's Creed. It delivers. And, usually she's available in this little scene here, but I can't seem to figure out where she is. Well, never mind that then. Anyways, so thank you for watching the review for Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. This is my first PS Vita review, and I promise you I'm going to get better with recording these videos as I do more of them, as I get used to it. Find a little place of my own to kind of set up and do these things. So 1771 New Orleans. So if you wanted to know what the time period was, that's the time period. This is Snake Vape, and I will be coming back with more videos and hopefully more reviews of portable devices and games. And I'd like to thank you. And remember, game on.
Gerald, you look as though you've seen a ghost. I left Chichen Itza the moment it was secure.
Then you were successful.
De Ferrer will no longer trouble us.